What is going on, Earth2 enthusiast, novice, and everyone in between? Sorry, I'm running a little bit late, as it's been pretty consistent so far that 2 for 2 now. We've had some technical difficulties. It's better than last time. Last time we originally planned to go live on Friday. We didn't get to do it on Saturday, so at least I'm only 7 minutes late. I'm afraid Dan may not be joining us. I'm not sure exactly why. I haven't heard back from him yet. I'm going to guess, not to embarrass him, but I think he maybe enjoyed himself a little bit too much last night. It was a Saturday night, and Dan's just a vivacious and lively guy. Or maybe he's at church. I don't know. Maybe he's at church and he's not responding to my text. Maybe he'll join us. I don't know. I sent him a text and just said, I'm going live. Jump on. We told you guys we'd be going live at noon, so that's what we're going to do. For those of you who are watching me on Meal Prep Biz 101, I will be killing that feed. So look in the show notes. There is a link to the other channel. So you can jump over there. Intentional Being, that's my other new channel. It's only got a handful of followers. That stuff is more, it's going to be more the Earth2.io content. One thing I did want to mention is some of the stuff we're going to discuss is some updates from the CEO. And most importantly, last night I was up until literally I didn't get to bed until 4:30 in the morning. What was I doing? Especially since I was up since like 7:30 in the morning. Well, I was just doing a bunch of research. I found a bunch of gold. I found the cheapest gold on Earth2.io, and there is a ton gold mines. There's a ton of gold mines in this area that I found. It is the cheapest. I went through, I got a spreadsheet, and I did a lot of research. Also, salt. Not sure if salt is going to be valuable, but I think they have intentions to make this a pretty in-depth game. I think there's going to be a lot to it, so I wouldn't put it past them to make salt valuable. It seems weird that we would have food in this virtual world, but a lot of people have been speculating, and they're buying up wheat and agricultural places. I haven't started doing that yet, but salt I know has other purposes, utilitarian purposes beyond food. You know, at one point in our civilization, salt was probably worth more than gold by weight. So in any case, I found the cheapest salt mines and the cheapest gold mines. Ironically, the salt mines were a little bit more expensive than the gold mines. Or the gold mines were cheaper than the salt mines, I should say, by 3 cents. When I was buying it last night, the gold mine area was 14 cents. The salt mine area was 17 cents. It's probably gone up since then. I've made my biggest squares of land purchases like so far. I was a little tired and maybe feeling a little bit more ballsy. And so in any case, I will be talking more about that stuff. If you guys want to find out exactly where, and I'm not hiding this stuff, I'm teasing you, but I will be telling you and showing you where it is, how to find it. And I also want to go over the methodologies that I use to find stuff. I kind of mentioned it in my previous video or show yesterday. I want to do a video that I'm going to record and post, but as a sign of my appreciation, not only am I going to, those of you who are subscribing and catching the show, not only am I going to tell you how I find this stuff, but I also will tell you how to find it. Now, I posted some videos late last night. I basically recorded 3 videos, and here's how it works. In the first video, in any case, here's what you have to do. I don't have to explain the videos because I'm kind of telling you right now. Sorry, I'm running on very little sleep. There's a link in the show notes, the contact form that I've told you guys about in the previous thing. So not only you fill out that contact form, not only will you be entered into the raffle for us to purchase land with your referral code, you will also get into the chance of winning some free land. Once a week, we'll do a raffle for free land giveaways, and then you will get an email that will give you a link to the first video, and then eventually and give you instructions on how to get the second video. I basically recorded how to find the salt mine and the gold mine very easily. And the way I look at it is the people who are supporting us, I want to give you guys some extra level of information. I want to bring it to you faster. I want to give you some exclusive information, give you a head start. I don't know if I'm going to eventually make these videos public or if this is just going to stay to you guys. I will continue to post public videos. But when I find something really good and juicy, especially when it's limited and it's not very scalable, like if I find one spot that is just like prime like this, like 2 spots that are really prime, I'm going to share them with a more private group. And I think that's just fair because it's going to be the people who are more supportive, the people who are using our referral code, catching our live streams, supporting the channel, filling out the contact form. So actually, if you already filled out the contact form, check your email, because at like 4 a.m. last night, between like 4 and I don't know what time, you should have received an email with the first link to the first video on how to find the mines. And then that'll eventually give you instructions on how to get the second video and whatever else. Let me take a moment and look at some of these comments. I see them piling up and I don't want to ignore you guys. Christopher's here. Christopher's log. I keep on wanting to, I pause at Chris. It's like I pause at Christoph. I keep on wanting to call you Christoph because the FF, it's not common spelling. Where are you? What country are you in, Christopher? Christopher? Is it Christopher or should I pronounce it Christopher? I want to pronounce it the same way. My name's Casey. So I'm very aware of the mispronunciations that people experience. I don't have a simple name like Michael. Like you go any country in the world, your name's Michael. People know how to pronounce it. No problem. Hey man, love your videos. I appreciate that, ZEPHYS. I want to pronounce this correctly. I saw you in the show yesterday. Saley, or is it Sale? I have a dentist named Saley. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I think it's an Israeli name. I forget how he spells it. Hey, Giovanni. Giovanni, I don't think Dan got around to purchasing anything with your code, but I'm going to. I'm probably not going to try to do any live purchases just because you guys saw that it didn't play well. We know that the Earth2 site is laggy. At 4 a.m. last night, 4 a.m. East Coast time, it started getting laggy again, but probably from about 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. It was pretty responsive. I actually had it open on a couple of different tabs. I was going back and forth, searching through maps and stuff like that. I'll tell you more about my strategy on how I find this stuff. It's kind of common sense stuff, but I just have it down and like, I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. Where would you recommend I buy for cheap price that will likely shoot up in price? Right now, ZEPHYS asked that question. I don't know if there's a way for me to highlight it. Yeah, dude, check that out. All right, ZEPHYS. This is cool. I'm like a professional. ZEPHYS. Sorry, I just switched over to another screen. I would, right now, I'll tell you my strategy right now is I've been focusing on resources. Initially, so if you watch my earlier videos, my initial plans was like, and I don't regret all of it. Like my first purchase was where I got engaged. It's at the top of a mountain in Vail. I bought, you know, like the house I grew up in or the house I spent my summers in, some little places around here. I thought, and I knew that stuff wasn't going to be valuable. Some of the other stuff that I might not be, I don't want to say I'm wrong on, but I'm going to just say I wasn't super accurate on. I wasn't sure if the land was going to be there, and it kind of didn't make sense. I was like, are they going to go through the trouble of replicating all the buildings that already exist? If so, how often will that be updated? Like, you know how like Google Maps, they drive around. I don't know what countries you're in, but I know in the States and in a lot of other countries, you'll see like these little cars with cameras drive around. I was like, are they going to do that for this to keep all the buildings updated? Like when they change a facade or something, like, or is there just going to be like cameras everywhere? And eventually we're all going to be under the eye of Big Brother. So they'll have no problem keeping up. So in any case, I was putting more importance on buildings, but I wasn't necessarily wrong about that. Because the developers basically confirmed that it is a good strategy to buy landmarks, to buy highly trafficked areas. And the developers and CEO confirmed that. Here's the reason why. And I mentioned this in yesterday's episode. We're going to be engaging with AR. They're going to have an app for your phone. You're going to be able to also engage in VR from your house. But when you're with your phone, one of their primary functions they want to have is they want you to be able to, like, let's say you're chilling at the mall and you're bored, you're waiting for your girlfriend to try on some stuff or something, and you're just like, I wonder what's here in Earth2. And you're just bored, you're chilling at the mall or at an airport or at college between classes. Those are some hints. Where are people bored? Where are people using their phone? Like everywhere, but highly trafficked areas where a lot of people are using their phone, and they're going to turn on and go, oh, so this is what's going on in Earth2 right here. Oh, somebody built a big statue of an eggplant. Oh, someone, built a mansion over here. Oh, someone built a waterfall over here. I don't know. But they're also going to be looking around and go, oh, an advertisement for Nicorette gum. Oh, an advertisement for Kool-Aid, because advertisers are going to be paying to advertise in AR and in VR. I'm sure there's going to be ways for, like, I was talking to a dude years ago, really smart kid, like in his 20s, and this kid was just like on another level. And he was talking about how you'll go to bars and you'll have like your Google glasses on or something, and there'll be AR ads all over the place. And eventually we're probably going to have to like pay for a certain feature on our Google glasses or whatever brand glasses that we have that observe AR that will block the ads from us, just like you have to pay on YouTube to block your ads or everything else. Like, it's free, but you just get hit with ads nonstop. So you'll be sitting at a bar and you'll just see like a bucket special of Coors Light pop up and start rotating. And you'll be like, okay, I click on that, I'll get the bucket special. It'll be like that. So I think Earth2 has that potential of hosting that kind of stuff. So as we're walking around in the real world with our little GPS trackers in our phone, we can see these advertisements. The ads are going to be paying to be there. So if you own Times Square, and there's a lot of people in Times Square, there's a lot of people looking at ads there. So that's one of the reasons that I think that that's a good place to buy. Now, however, and I'm sorry, this is a very long question. I'll try to keep the other ones, long answer, I should say. I'll try to keep the other ones shorter, but I want you to understand my methodology. I don't want to just give you guys answers. I want you to see how I'm thinking so we can maybe like jive back and forth. Maybe you guys come up with some good ideas. I'm sure you guys all have really good ideas. So that was primary. Now, obviously that's where everybody's buying first. So don't get discouraged if you can't find that. Next, they also mentioned resources. These are the two biggest takeaways that I saw from like the value. Now, eventually all the gold mines are going to be bought up. I don't know if diamonds are going to matter. I don't know if salt's going to matter. I don't even know if oil is going to matter. This is all speculative right now, but there's a high probability that if there are any valuable minerals, they'll definitely be gold. If they want to go a little bit deeper into it, will it be silver and platinum and nickel and iridium and uranium and copper and zinc and tin? I don't know. Will it be salt? I don't know. So it's all very speculative. Anybody that's very definitive on anything, be very careful. I heard some people were very definitive about phase 2 coming on the 1st, and it's not. These guys are still building this thing as they go. So those are the two things that I would look for: is popular, high trafficked areas. And you got to start thinking outside the box. Like, some of my methods are, I'll look on Google, I'll look on the satellite view. And if I see a lot of cars in an area, like traffic jam backed up, I'm like, maybe the destination they're going to isn't there. But if they're sitting in the car bored, maybe it's a self-driving car, maybe there's a passenger in the car, and they're just killing time in Earth2 AR, they're going to be hitting these ads. Think about that, because look at Facebook, look at Google, look at all these platforms. Where do they make the most of their money right now? Advertising. The attention for human beings is so valuable, because then I have the opportunity to tell you to vote for me, to buy my product, to subscribe to my service, like whatever it is. That is probably what's going to fund Earth2. Imagine when advertisers start getting on this. It's going to blow up. Their stock's going to go through the roof, because like Facebook, you do kind of passively. When you're actively like in a game, you guys should watch. Here's some things that I recommend you watch just to start getting this stuff in your head. Watch Surrogate, watch Ready Player One, Surrogate with Bruce Willis. Everybody's probably familiar with Ready Player One. Watch Black Mirror. I think they've got like 3 seasons now. Watch Black Mirror and just see some of the tech. It's like this future dystopian thing. It's on Netflix, kind of like the Twilight Zone. Hopefully you guys dig it. But yeah, to answer your question, sorry, it's like a hour-long answer. But yeah, resources, highly trafficked areas. You guys start thinking outside the box for the highly trafficked areas right now, because everybody's thought of the Statue of Liberty. Manhattan is all bought up. I did manage to get some squares in Manhattan. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to buy, so I just got frontage on some buildings. London, France, or Paris. I got some places like right across from the Louvre. So highly trafficked areas. And I didn't even know at the time. I was just like, let me get as close to like the important stuff as possible. So maybe someone wants to build a condo that looks at the Louvre. Well, now I know the Louvre won't be there, but in real world, it will be, and people will be walking around looking at their phone because we're addicted to our devices. But, just got to do it. Can I do something to avoid server problems in Earth2? It's a good question. I went on late at night. I'm assuming America, these damn Yankees, We're probably the most prolific, that's not the word I want to use. We've got the most presence. Yeah, I guess prolific. I don't know. We've got the most presence on Earth2. So if you want to time your purchasing, I know it sucks. I mean, like I said, I was up till 4:30 last night. If you want to time your purchasing around the damn Yankees in the US of A, like I did, like I said, I'm here in Florida. So 4 a.m. my time means it was like, what was that, 1 a.m. California time? Oh, no, it's the other way. Idiot. So it was like midnight California time. So, or 1, is it 3? Mountain Central. Whatever. I can't think, man. I don't have enough coffee. Yeah. So, yeah, time it that way. You get the mass majority, especially the East Coast. The East Coast of the States, if you look at that time, just imagine like, okay, people are going to start going to bed around 10 p.m. East Coast time. That's when I would be going on it. I was on it earlier today, and it was a little laggy. It wasn't as good as it was last night. I've definitely seen it worse. I did have some trouble loading up my screen. So yeah, there's nothing we can do from the outside to avoid server problems. You could have a great connection, but if there's too many people on their site, and that's a problem that they have, they are very aware of it. They mentioned it before. And yeah, Christopher, sorry, man. He is saying that he is Christopher's in Denmark. He is saying that he can't even get on. I don't doubt it. What should you do? I would just got to keep trying. You know what I found? This makes no sense to me, but I found it works a little bit better on my phone. I have no idea why. But whatever. I mean, my phone's running off my Wi-Fi. My Mac is running off my Wi-Fi. Maybe my Mac's running a little bit slower because I've got like a million tabs open because I have crazy ADD. But what's most valuable, city or mines? That's a really good question, and I'm going back and forth on that. So they don't. I keep on putting myself in their perspective to try to answer some of these questions that I have in my head, and this is one of them. Would it behoove me to invest in rural areas, or like obviously mines are normally out in the middle of nowhere. They're never like near downtown. So you're looking at very different areas. Does it behoove me to invest in an island that's like in the middle of the Pacific? There are some islands that are still going for cheap, but I'm like, what's the logistics going to be like? Am I going to have to ship these resources back and forth? Is it going to be a good idea to be spread out so much? So I'm trying to think, if I was a developer of this game, if I was the brains behind this game, I want to make it as fair as possible. I want to make it so that everybody always sees an opportunity and a reason to join it, right? So as much as I want to incentivize early adopters, I don't want people who are late to the game to feel like it's not worth playing. It's kind of, it's like anything else. It's like if a stock price, like nobody wants to buy Tesla right now. Everybody wishes they bought Tesla 6 months ago. It's so high that it's excluding a lot of people, and it's intimidating. So cities and mines, I think they're going to have a pretty fair way to incentivize the people who were first, obviously. But also I think like when it comes to mines, I think they mentioned that there's going to be terraforming, and they alluded to the fact that would allow you to get resources from that land that are otherwise not there. For those of you watching on Meal Prep Biz 101, well, I guess whatever, and I'll keep streaming on there until Dan comes. But normally I was going to kill the feed there to force you to jump over. So please migrate over there. If Dan jumps on, then I'll have to kill it, and because we can only broadcast 3 channels. So right now it's Meal Prep Biz 101, Intentional Being, which is the one I want you to go over to. And then the other one that we have is Squaring the Circle, and that's one that we're doing together. But that's more about, related to this, entrepreneurship, behind the scenes of business, making money, side hustles, grinding, stuff like that. So going back to your question, what I'm thinking, and I honestly just came up with this answer truthfully with you asking it, so I'm glad you asked it. I think I'm going to start investing more in some cities, because the buildings are going to be wiped out and we're going to be able to terraform the land. So me buying these gold mines might be cool. Maybe I have to pay or develop the technology to do the terraforming, because otherwise like everybody would just terraform the cheapest land out there and turn it into a gold mine, right? So that wouldn't be fair. So I'm guessing there's probably going to be a cost or some kind of development expense to be able to terraform your land. And that means if I have land in the city that's highly trafficked, I could at least put ads up there. If I buy some land that's out in the middle of nowhere, nobody's going to pay for ads there. And now I got to save up money to terraform. That's a good tip. I like that. Good question, Christian. All right. I'm a noob, man. We're all noobs. We're just like, the way I always describe it is I never, my online handle that I was using, and I probably still will use, is Casey the Student. And that's all about, you know, never feeling like you're an expert or a master, because a lot of times when you're an expert or a master, you normally, not to say you get bored with the field, but you don't hit it with the veracity of, you know, self-education that's necessary. So I always look at it as, I might know more than you, but I'm like the sophomore and you're a freshman. I've got 1 year on you. I'm just a little bit further in, so don't be intimidated. I never want to act like I'm an expert, but I also want to know, like, I can help that freshman out. If this is your first year at a new school and you don't even know where the lockers are, you don't know what teachers to take for math class, you don't know the best route to the lunchroom from the gym, like, I could tell you all that stuff. I might not be able to teach you calculus, but I will be able to give you some kind of benefit. And that's why I like to pass on. And hopefully an upperclassman would pass that on to me. I know that probably doesn't make sense to anybody who's outside the US, because I think we're the only ones who refer to 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade as freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I don't know. Let me know in the notes. But yeah, don't be intimidated. Buying the islands, I found some. There's one called like Nanu. Let me see the name of it. The cheapest one that I found, and it's out in the middle of like nowhere. I actually bought up like some little islands that like I was able to buy up just myself without spending a lot of money. 14 cents last night. NAURU had some land, 14 cents, and that's an island out in the middle of the Pacific. And then the other one, 12 cents, NIUE. Now, I have been noticing that if you go into the countries, and if you go, you know, the top right, click on your name, drops down, click on countries. When you're in Earth2, I'm not going to do it because it'll start lagging. You're able to see the list of countries, and it has their prices. The prices have not been accurate. I think a lot of them are being pumped. Like there's some, I think it's a combination of two things, honestly. I think that maybe that data feed isn't being updated regularly. Like I would assume that it would be like an API or something, so it'd be live in real time. But the other thing is some of that stuff might be getting pumped. Like some of it says it's like 10 or 11 cents, and you click on it and it's $1.75. But then there's some of it where I've clicked on it like over a course of several days, and it's over $1, even though the price says that it's 10 cents. So what I found is, so there's like 13 pages of countries. Normally pages 12 and 13 are either reserved or like they're super inaccurate. Like if it says 10 or 11 cents, it's either reserved and you can't buy it yet, or it's like $1.75 when you click on it. It's like completely different. So then like pages like 9, 10, and 11 are where I find more consistency in cheap prices, and also the land. It's normally class 1, obviously, if it's that cheap, because, you know, it's correlative. But I also find that the prices are they're more accurate, where it says like it's 14 cents. You go over there and it's like 14.5 cents or something like that. So let's see what else I've got on here. Got some other questions. What do you think about parks? I dig parks, man. Parks, I think, are cool, man or miss. Sorry. Parks are cool. People are there. Obviously, you rather have a mall because it's just denser. But I mean, remember, I don't know what countries this caught on, but remember a few years ago, at least those of you in the States, everybody's walking around with their phones like zombies catching Pokemon. And it was really cool because I was hoping that it would spark back up with the whole, I don't even want to say these words because I'm afraid they're censored. We know what happened in 2020 while we were all in our house. So we're not going to say those words because we might get shut down. But I was thinking that, you know, the AR Pokemon Go kind of stuff would pop back up and people would be out there killing time, you know, getting outside and stuff like that. So I think parks would be cool because anywhere people are going to go, and they could put incentives. Like, imagine what kind of stuff will be here in Earth 2. Like, they have like the Pokemon Go. Imagine combining that with Earth 2. Like, there will be other games playing simultaneously on this platform. So there will be reasons where people are like, oh, okay, there's a park. Like, I didn't play Pokemon Go, but from what I understood, they were putting the Pokemon in, sometimes they were really random areas, but most often, like, you can go somewhere that was highly trafficked. Like, I remember there was one that was at the Holocaust Museum, and it pissed so many people off because they're like, we've got all these teenagers in here playing around with their phones, and this is a somber place, and it's supposed to be like really serious. And so the Pokemon Go people are like, we're sorry, but like, it just looks at where there's a lot of cell phones. Let's put a Pikachu over there. And so I think it'll be something like that, where it might not be Pokemon, but why wouldn't Pokemon Go want to use the Earth 2 platform, right? Or other games, it might be Earth 2 doing their own thing, where it's like all of a sudden some random resource pops up. I don't know. But I think that in the future, with people getting into, again, watch the movie Surrogate, you have people who are just like plugging into these machines, never leaving their house, and they're like living like this VR, AR life through a surrogate like robot that lives and goes to their work and does all their stuff for them and has perfect body, perfect bone structure, in great shape. Meanwhile, people are home, like wasting away in this like VR bed kind of thing. I think that Earth 2, those guys, I don't know, but I think they would dig doing something that incentivizes people to go outside. Where's a great place to go outside and get some fresh air and bring people, if you want to try to make them a little bit healthier? Parks are a great idea. If you watched the show yesterday, we were trying to buy up a park in Minsk, and it looks like somebody who was watching was like sniping the land right before us. Like, right when we were trying to buy that Ferris wheel, someone grabbed like 3 squares, right, or 3 tiles right there, and she's like, got it. Another reason that we're not gonna be doing live purchases, but I will probably do some purchases once I get off here. Definitely for Giovanni. Who were the other ones? It was like Butternuts and I'll have to look. That was a funny name. I remember that one. Just bought some salt mines in Romania and Peru, gold mines in Papua New Guinea. Yeah, Peru was a bit expensive for me. I checked out Peru when I was doing my research last night for salt mines and gold mines. Peru and Romania were a bit more expensive. So I've actually found some cheaper salt mines. If you want to find the salt mines I found, the link is in the show notes. So check that out. That link, fill out the contact form. You'll get an email with a link to a private video that shows you exactly where the salt mines are. It's the cheapest salt mines on the planet, on Earth 2. And then it'll also give you instructions to the gold mine, cheapest gold mine in Earth 2. So check that stuff out. Again, I explained earlier, I don't know if you guys got on, how many of you saw it, but I am going to keep giving you guys public content, but there's some super good stuff that the people on the contact form are going to get before everybody else. But yeah, gold mines, you know, what's funny is, and I like that you're on salt too. You're thinking the same. So in Peru, I went to Peru 2 Novembers ago. Was it? Yeah, 2 Novembers ago. Great place, amazing place. That was actually one of the first places I was buying. There's an Earth Chakra point in Mount Shasta, or not Mount Shasta, that's California. I did buy Mount Shasta too, in Lake Titicaca. And when I was in Peru, I learned about the salt process. It's a very interesting process. I explain it in the video, so I won't bore you guys with it. Check out that video. I show you exactly where the salt is. There was plenty of it at the time. I can't wait to go back later today and look at it and see everyone else's flags, because there was like one Canadian guy and then like one other person with like 6 tiles. I forget what country it was, and that was it. And like nobody else was on this salt mine. And like I said, it was the cheapest salt on Earth 2 at the time. So 17 cents is what I was getting the salt for. 14 cents a tile is what I was getting the gold mines for. And the gold mines, like I explained it on the video, there's one very obvious site where there's some people, and even at that site where there are some flags, there's plenty of stuff to be bought. And then there's all these other less obvious gold sites. I know what I'm looking for, and I explain it in the video as well, so you guys can know what you're looking for. And it's untouched. There were no flags. So I bought up an entire pit that was the biggest purchase I've ever made. I bought up like one corner of it, and I was like, I'll buy up the other corner of it too. And I was like, well, if I just like put a strip across and connected them. So let me actually show you. So this is actually it. This is the gold mine. This is the gold pit that I got. I forgot I had these up. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Here we go. Sorry. All right. There we go. All right. So all these American flags, these obnoxious American flags, are this guy's. These are mine. So this is like the biggest chunk of land that I bought. And it's like 3 or 4 different sections that I bought. Like I bought this first, and then I bought this end. And then I was like, oh, let me connect them. And then for some reason, I don't know. But I bought them in several different sections. Now, the CEO did go on. He did say that there was a misunderstanding. If you saw the live stream, they made it seem like they are debating whether or not they're going to. They made it seem like they're debating whether or not they're going to. Let me share it like this. Yeah, whether or not they're going to allow us to merge tiles that are next to each other. So, like, I bought all of this, but it's like 4 separate chunks. So they are debating whether or not they're going to allow us to merge tiles or separate them. So if you bought a big chunk, obviously it's hard to sell because it's a lot of money from people. So he did want to clarify. He was running on no sleep as well. It was 4 a.m. his time when they were doing the live stream. And he did later clarify, and I'll read that to you guys, where he's like, no, we do intend to allow that. It was weird because I watched the live stream like twice to get all the notes and stuff. And I've got a video on that. Make sure you check out that video. It's like 20 minutes instead of over an hour, which the live stream is. And I just go over the bullet points. But he made it seem like, we're not sure if we want to do it. He even said something like, it'll make sense to you later why we might not want to do it. But then he clarified. He's like, no, we totally want to do it. We're working out how to do it. So for you guys, I know some of you have asked, like, I bought a big chunk of land. Am I able to split it up? Not yet, but they intend to do that. And then later, I don't know if there's any strategic advantage for me to combine these things or not, but I figured I'd buy them next to each other. So I'll show you. This is all gold mine stuff. So here's the gold mine. Let's see if anybody else bought here so far. And guys, again, if you want information to find out where this is, I'm not going to tell you on this live stream. You have to go into the contact form, fill that out. You'll get an email with a link that takes you to the salt mines and tells you how to get the private link to the gold mines as well. Let's wait for the flags to load up. Because I know, so this is a gold mine. This is a well-developed gold mine where they start getting excavators in. This is probably several, I would say this is, I don't know, maybe, I know you guys use meters, we use feet. I would say this is probably, I don't know, 20 meters deep. This is probably at least 30 feet deep. You could see these rings along the end. This is how they excavate it. Okay, the flags aren't loading up, but trust me, all of this was bought up, just the black area. And the black is actually like water that fills up. They hit the water table when they go deep enough, and they just get flooded, and they got to pump it out when they're working the mines. So this is like an open mine or a pit. And then these lines are just them constantly like scraping around the walls. And as you can imagine, if I'm just driving around, scraping the walls down, and gradually going deeper and deeper, but constantly scraping off the walls, I go deeper and it gets wider. So that pit probably started off like something smaller than, actually, I'll show you how it started off. So this is bought up, again, just in the black area, but you can still go into the area around it. This all has gold. So there's gold in these walls. They just haven't got to it yet. They're not digging straight down. They're digging around. So this area, again, was all bought up just in the black. So everything around here was still good. This was a new pit that I don't know. I can't remember if this had any flags on it yet. I think it did. But again, it was like just in the middle. People are just going for the most obvious stuff. Let's try and do a purchase. Oh, there we go. All the flags. Yeah. All right. So these flags weren't all here. Okay. So these flags weren't all here. Some of these guys got in, like this Canadian guy. I don't think he was here last night, but this is still gold right here. You guys can buy this. I won't buy it. I bought enough. I'm not going to be greedy. Maybe I'll come back and buy it later with Giovanni's code. So Oh, that's not it. Okay, so I don't have the salt mines. But you guys don't care about salt. You guys can find the salt. You can see the salt mines in the video. I'm showing you how to look for gold too. So the first video that you're going to get is the salt mines. So this is all obvious. So this is obviously a working site. Look at all the roads, look at all the holes. Super obvious. That's where people are going. This looks like it's not being developed. This looks like this is where they're pumping their runoff, and the runoff is actually a way to spot where gold is being developed. So gold as a like they obviously have to refine the gold, right? So through a chemical process, they're actually going to, I'm looking it up right now, because I keep on going back and forth as to whether it's cyanide or, oh man, whatever. It's like cyanide or hydrochloric acid. It's some bad, nasty chemical, and they use that to refine the gold. The water is actually filled with algae because the cyanide, I believe it's cyanide, maybe it's hydrochloric acid. Man, I forget. All I know is it's bad news bears. It's not something you want to drink or play in. But basically, really, it has a lot of nitrogen in it, and this is wastewater from the refinement process. So all this super green water in these pits is the wastewater from the refinement process. So these are some more pits. I don't even know if I saw these pits last night. Probably did. I'm just super tired. And you can see these walls are going. So this is a wall. These are just lines that they're just like going around with an excavator and taking all this out. But I also want to show you some virgin area that nobody's, oh yeah, that was already bought up. So this is some stuff that nobody's touched yet. And there's tons of these. So you see these little pits. What happens is when they first start discovering gold through like panning and really simple processes, they're using like shovels and pans. They don't pull out the machinery until they really need to, because it's expensive, takes a lot of effort. And some of these companies are smaller companies. They don't have all the tools, and what they do is they just find the surface level gold, and then eventually this area will turn into a pit. This will be dug out, and what they do is they'll like dig a pit here, and once they tapped it out, they fill it in. They dig a pit here. Once they tap it out, they fill it in. But all these pit areas, this is where they're exploring for gold. Now look how big this is, and this is just one of them. And there's no flags here. At least there weren't last night. There are none. Now, if I were to post this publicly, it'd be bought up way faster. If you want to jump in on it, again, hit the form in the show notes. I'll show you some more. Like this area is bought up and this area is bought up. But all these little cuts, this is them taking down the trees and going, they do these little paths, and they keep finding gold. And if they find gold, they keep cutting down more trees. If they stop finding gold, they don't go that route. Like there's a bunch of paths I explain in the video. These paths go off to the side. So they're exploring out here. They're not finding gold, and that's what keeps them in this line. They follow it like a vein. Gold runs in veins. And but you'll see these green pools, and that's them doing on-site refining. They're probably smaller companies. They're not taking it to, I'd imagine this is a different site, and this is a different company. This company's got more money. Sometimes what happens is these small guys work the land. They prove that there's gold there, and then they'll sell the contract to a bigger company if they have rights to the land. It's very similar with the oil process. Watch the movie There Will Be Blood. And that's basically what he does. He finds some places where there's oil, and he's like, hey, I've got all the machinery and the know-how. I can get the oil out of the ground. I can sell it. I can transport it. You just are a dude with oil on your land. So give me the rights. I'll give you 20 cents on the dollar or something less. I'll do all the work. You just get a check. So this is all gold. All this clearing right here is all gold. So yeah, I'll tell you guys exactly where to find that. And let's see. Alberta oil sands. I'm going to have to check that. Actually, Canada's got so expensive for me. When I see, so here's the thing I'm looking at, guys. There's countries out there that are still under 20 cents. And they've got oil, and they've got gold, and they've got silver, and they've got salt, and they've got all the other metals. I don't want to buy in a more expensive country Just because the way I look at it is like, and I've done all sorts of trading, and none of this is financial advice. I should put that disclaimer going across the bottom. I've got some banners. Let me see if I get those banners going. What's this one do? Okay, yeah, use our referral code. Please use our referral code. So with that referral code, again, that's the account that we set up just for this. We're going to be just buying land, giving it away, and using that. So all your referral stuff is like kind of a self-education thing, and we'll use your referral codes and potentially give you the land. Let's get back to the comments. So yeah, like Canada is expensive. I mean, it's not as expensive as the US, but if there's gold and oil, if there's old in other countries that are cheaper, that's where I'm buying. It just takes a bit more research. It's not as well known, a lot of it. Harder to find for sure. It's not as well documented, but I'll show you how I dig for it. With 40 bucks, Lucas, with 40 bucks, I would go for the biggest bang for the buck. I'm a big fan of cheap land. It has the highest potential for increase. You have to imagine. So again, my experience is I've traded foreign exchange currencies, basically. I've traded stocks. I did cryptocurrency I was addicted to for a while. And what I've noticed is a lot of times, and it all depends, it's all speculation, but let's put it this way, the US is probably at like 25 bucks today. For the US to 10x, it has to go from 25 for you to buy into the US and make 10 times your money, or for it to increase 10 times in value. It has to go to $250. It has to get to a point where people are spending $250 per tile for your money to go up 10x. Now, if I find a country that is at 25 cents and I spend the same amount of money buying more tiles that are less value, that only has to go to $2.50. It's the same amount of increase, but mentally it's a much smaller number. Now, the reason you want to know about mental is because stocks and all this stuff, this isn't controlled by computers. This isn't controlled by numbers and data and facts. This is controlled by irrational human beings buying based on emotion and speculation and trying to figure out which way they feel things are going to go. You also have to consider the way someone looks at a stock. Someone, if I have $1,000 and there's a stock that's $1,000, that means I could buy one of them. Let's say we have 10 people with $1,000. How many of them are going to be satisfied just mentally owning one share for $1,000, whereas there's $10 shares over here and I could buy 100 of them? I feel like I've got more. I spent the same amount of money, took the same amount of risk. And you could even argue maybe even more risk because maybe the cheaper company is higher risk. But with this, you have to imagine we've got people who are going to be coming in spending, stimulus dollars, at least in the US. This is for the US. I know a lot of you guys are from all over the world. We've got stimulus checks that are supposedly coming out, even though it's only going to be like $600. Maybe it's going to be $2,000. Where's that money going to go? Are people going to use that to buy Tesla? Are people going to use that to buy Bitcoin at $30-something a share right now? Probably not. Especially since those things have been rallying so long. A lot of people are like, yeah, how much, not only is it expensive, but how much further can it go up? So I think that money is, just assuming, the reason I'm investing, not telling you to do this, but I'm assuming that it's going to be coming into this. Now they're going to be getting in later to the game than all of us. They're going to be looking at the US and go like, oh man, it's $30 or whatever the price is at that time. And they're going to be like, wait, there's all these cheaper countries. And Manhattan's bought up anyways. Like all the places I wanted to buy are all bought up. So I might as well just like go to this random country and buy something on this island in the middle of the Pacific called Niue, Niue, for 12 cents. Like that's where a lot of people are buying. Now, for you, for 40 bucks, I would try to pick up some resources, because the resources, since you can't find a populated area or an area that is going to be highly trafficked, I would spend it on resources, because then at least like what I would do, stop right now, Lucas, get to that link in the notes, fill that out, maybe buy some salt mines, or maybe just go and buy some salt mines, because I think that's a lot of people are sleeping on that. And I think a lot of people, like, they're going to be surprised. I don't think it'll be worth as much as gold. Buy some salt mines, buy some gold mines. That's what I would do. Not advice. I'm just saying that's what I would do. But check out the link so you at least have the information if you want to do that. Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands, we discussed this in yesterday's live stream, man. I've heard more about the Faroe Islands than probably any other singular place. I don't know why my face is so shiny. For a place I've never heard of before, admittedly, Faroe Islands supposedly have a lot of, I think, oil and natural gas. Now, here's the thing. I noticed that it seems like the Faroe Islands have offshore oil. They're drilling offshore. I did a little bit of research on that. So I did buy some in the Faroe Islands. I mentioned in the video yesterday, just based on how much I'm hearing something, there's a principle I discussed in stocks, and I heard this in cryptocurrency a lot too, because a lot of crypto traders are former stock guys, and they're taking their analytic trading from stock guys. But buy the rumors, sell the news. So when a lot of people are talking about something, like a lot of people are talking about Faroe Islands, that's probably a good time. That's why I thought it was a good time to buy it. Never heard of it before. It looked like these tiny little islands. I was like, how the hell do they have oil? But what do I know about oil? Bought up some. And that's why I think it might be an interesting buy. The fact of the matter is there's a limited quantity of squares on Earth2. Regardless of what country you buy in, more and more people are going to be intrigued on getting in on this. And they're always going to be spending money. A lot of people are always going to be trying to spend money on cheaper places. So buying a cheap place now, it's easier to, like I said, it's easier to get 25 cents to go to 250. When people are seeing the US at $25, they have no problem paying 250 for a square. When I first got in the game, or when I first started buying, the US was at $3.78. And one of the videos that I was watching, this dude was like, oh yeah, like I bought some squares in the US for 70 cents. So I'm coming into Earth2 going like, oh, so the squares are like 70 cents. Maybe it's at $1 now. And I was at 378 and I was like, wow, that's really expensive. So I bought some stuff in the US, but a lot of it I was buying like Peru and other countries, and just like all over the place because it was cheaper. Other people are going to have that same mentality, regardless of whether, $5 seems expensive or $25 seems expensive, or like it's going to be at $50 and people are going to be like, man, I wish I bought in when it was at 25. But all of us who are watching it grow from like $3, $4 to 25 are like, wow, it's so expensive, but it's all relative. Let's see. Big mine in Papua New Guinea. I don't recall the price on Papua New Guinea. It didn't make my radar. Oh, 20 cents a tile. Already answered. All right, yeah, I might do that. Normally, I've been trying to buy stuff for less than 20 cents, just trying to stay in the teens, because eventually the price is going to go up on everything. So I was picking up a lot of stuff at 10 cents. Now that doesn't happen. So now I'm trying to go for like 12 to 14 cents ideally. That's awesome. But today there probably won't be much, they're probably going to start getting bought up the 12-cent stuff. You guys obviously know that there's some countries in reserve, haven't been released yet. The UAE and Israel and a few other ones, Arab countries, for religious reasons. Those are still kind of at 10 cents. It looks weird on the market. I can't really get an accurate price. I see two different prices, but those probably won't stay low for long. I think the UAE is going to explode because there's going to be all this interest in it. People are like, oh man, the US is bought up. Wait, where's oil? Oh, I can't buy in Dubai. And then they're going to jump in on it. All right, what is this? Is it worth investing in landmark mines? Yeah, I mean, I flipped a church in Malta. Some dude made me an offer. I don't even think I had it for sale. I don't remember putting it up for sale. And he offered me 3 times what it was worth. And it was worth twice what I paid for it. So highly trafficked areas. If you didn't see that in the beginning, I mentioned that. Highly trafficked areas, wherever there's going to be bodies. Obviously, like I rather have like a mall or an amusement, maybe not even amusement parks. Like I bought Busch Gardens. I bought some land in Busch Gardens. I bought some land in Disney World. And I'm like, are people, I mean, there's a lot of people there, but I feel like they are being entertained. Maybe they won't be jumping on their phones as much, but I'm sure we're always addicted to our phones. So I'm sure there'll be. And that's the thing is, like, once this is out, you have to understand this is going to be like a second nature thing. You're going to go on vacation somewhere in the real world. And one of the first things you're going to think of is, I wonder what's here in Earth2. Or maybe before you plan your vacation, you'll be like, I wonder what's there in Earth2. Maybe there's a little challenge or a little interactive game that I can play. So landmarks, monasteries, anywhere there's people is better than not. people, high traffic and resources. If you have very little money, I'd say resources, as I mentioned before, you'll be able to, why not? It's gold, man. Not sure what that was in context to. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late on these comments. Not sure what you mean by this. Someone using me, using my code, using you're my guy. Okay, I appreciate that. I think it's oh, you're talking to each other. I'm an idiot. I just realized that was someone else's name. Just reading through these. Yeah, D-Buy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, guys, check out the link below. This is one thing I did want to go over with you guys. I'm going to read it to you. Bear with me. As I mentioned before, I'm under caffeinated and under rested. I haven't slept or I did sleep, but it wasn't very much. So this is from Shane. Shane Isaac is the CEO of Earth2.io or Earth2. Dear Earth2 users, I wanted our next update to be about LIT being distributed. That's land income tax. As you guys may know, I think the 24th was the last day that land income tax was distributed. And they explained they are going to be catching everybody else up on payments. Everything that's owed to you is going to be coming to you. Our main two priorities right now are still, one, distributing the backlog land income tax, and two, establishing the servers. So they're racing to hire people and to get servers online to accommodate for all this growth. We mentioned before, they anticipated this amount of growth in a year, and they got it in like 3 or 4 weeks. We hope we will have some good news on this very soon, and we do appreciate your patience. We will be running an updated version for LIT, land income tax, in the next 18 hours. So keep your fingers crossed. Our whole team want to make sure this works ASAP. So please understand we're 100% with you, waiting for this to be fixed. So this may already be in effect. I'm not sure what time zone he wrote this from, like I think Australia. With regards to subdividing and merging properties, I think that what I said during the live stream was not quite clear enough. We do want to allow subdivision and merging of tiles and properties in the future. We do want this feature, and we are working on ways to allow this. We simply cannot give the exact time frame on when this will be ready, and I feel before it is ready, we should make an official update about what benefits unaltered larger properties may have in the future. So it might behoove you to buy big chunks of land. There are also many of you in the community who are being very understanding and very supportive. We cannot thank you enough. The type of growth we have experienced is almost unprecedented, and this began December 19th, just before the Christmas shutdown. That's crazy. I bought my first land December 18th. So I got in, wow. It has been very difficult to hire staff during the holiday break, and we cannot simply hire anybody, as the people who need to process payments need to have access to our company bank accounts and your credit. So this is currently being processed by 2 accountants and 1 lawyer who have selflessly assisted us during the holiday season. We are sorry with the withdrawals. We are sorry the withdrawals are taking time, and we are working in good faith, however, daily. Daily there are, didn't put a comma there. Daily there are users trying to abuse our system, and these cases take significant time to investigate when identified, which is frustrating when we are so short-staffed and it delays payments for everybody. That sucks. There's a lot of roaches out there kind of trying to kick their legs out from under them and doing some shady stuff. We realize the website is slow, but we are trying to keep it online so as not to cause panic. Could you imagine if it went down and people all over the world like, yeah, I can't get anything in there? If you do not need to use the website, please try to limit the use for now. If you're making a request for a withdrawal, please consider signing up for TransferWise and setting up a free account with Can ASAP. Probably means with them. Or we can accept USD dollars. Okay, punctuation, spelling's off. It's all good. So TransferWise, I'm going to set up that account. I haven't been taking any money out yet. I actually fully, and I just want to keep putting more money in, honestly. I got more money to spend. This will make it a lot easier for us to transfer funds to you, and also means you do not need to give us additional personal details. Receiving your personal details for every transfer slows us down a lot. So a lot of you are concerned about having to give your banking information. That's one of the reasons I'd probably be reluctant to do it right now. If I did want to take money out, I would do it, take the risk, but I'm not wild about emailing banking information. So TransferWise, they give the link here, transferwise.com/GB/request-money. Please use support at earth2.io if you have an issue. We may take some time to get to you, but we will get to you. The team loves being on the chat server, and we feel passionate about what we do. So we like helping where we can. But every time we receive a message, we try to help someone, and we try to help someone. It is taking time away from other tasks we're working on. That inevitably will be better for you and the project in the long term. So give them some breaks. Don't rush to ask them stupid questions on the chat. There's plenty of information out there, or you can just hold on. All right. I'm going to put anybody in timeout. I've mentioned other videos before. I got a scammer video coming up. Anytime somebody talks about, doing codes back and forth, I'm producing this content. I'm hosting this stuff for you guys. I'm providing the information. I'd appreciate it if you guys use my referral code. And I also just don't trust faceless people who are, so I appreciate you watching, but someone just put something up like, I'll put in $1,000 and use your code. I see that everywhere. How are there all these people with $1,000 ready to deposit and give to a complete stranger when like every video they've been watching has a code on it? Do you think they're really going to reciprocate? Do you think they're going to provide you of any value, or they're just going to wait for you to use their code? Whatever. Some people have been talking about our Earth2 domain registration, how it's set to expire March of 21. This was an auto renew, which is common for domain names, but to ease your concerns, I update it to 2026. If you're buying land and adding credit, then please be very patient after starting the purchase process. Please try to refrain from tapping the buy now button multiple times. If you wait, the land will be assigned to you. Just please be patient, as this will save yourself and us a lot of time handling support issues for users who tap the buy button multiple times or do not use or do something else before the purchase is complete. We have also noticed more users are scraping data or creating websites to display metrics for Earth2 website. This is awesome, and we really love it, but try to keep API calls to a bare minimum, especially as we are presently working to resolve server issues. As soon as we have time, we will create specific APIs for you to use. That's cool. So they're cool with people getting in there and pulling the data. Obviously, it's probably lagging their servers even more because API pulls can be real time. So it's a little bit more weight to put on there. But yeah, we're coming up on, on an hour right now. Anything else? Any other questions? Let me scan through. I'd buy Dubai only for commercial and advertising purposes, such as the Palm, the World Islands, etc. Yeah, I got really excited. I went to Dubai. It was like one of the first day or two that I was on, and I saw this dude. What's the name of the tallest building in Dubai? The Wiz Khalifa? No, I'm just kidding. Something Khalif Tower, whatever. And some British dude bought the entire tower up, and I was like, man, bummer. But then I saw all the land around it was available. I'm like, I'm going to buy all the condos that look at the tallest building. Because again, I was new. I didn't realize that the buildings were going to be scrubbed. And I couldn't buy it. And it's because it was reserved. I was like, the Burj Khalifa. Thank you. Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa. My buddy went to Dubai. I haven't been. He said it was like the most expensive place he's ever been. He and his wife had a shrimp cocktail. He said it was like 3 or 5 shrimp for like $75. That's nuts. Maybe that was with a drink or something, but I remember he's like, all we had was a shrimp cocktail to eat in the airport or some bar or something like that. They had a layover there. It's like, it was $75. It was insane. I've only have $5 to invest. Yeah, I would do gold if you could. I don't know. So here's the question. I'll pull it up. Gold is, if I could only buy gold or oil, I would buy gold, just because I feel like if there's going to be, gold has utilitarian purposes as well as the, intrinsic value of something shiny. And oil, while it obviously does have, fossil fuel possibilities, it could be used for plastics and stuff. Here's my thinking. They might not have fossil fuel cars in there. They did mention oil in the live stream, so I do think there will be some value to have oil. But if I had gold and I wanted to buy your oil, you'd probably sell that. If I had oil, I might not be able to like convince you to, that's what I'm thinking. So if you could find some oil that's cheap, go for it. I was focusing more on gold just because, I feel like gold is the currency, really. Oil has some value, but it's not like gold. Gold's gold, man. Faroe Islands, like 44 tiles. Do you think it will appreciate? I do. Hey, for anybody who's watching before, someone else asked about Faroe. Someone else watched on the last video that we did yesterday. Someone was talking about the Faroe Islands. I'm telling you, man, everyone's talking about Faroe Islands. I might have to go and buy some more. How much was it, Ben? How much were the tiles today? I'll have to go check it out. I don't want to check it out while I'm streaming. It'll just lag. Check your spam. Check your spam, because it should have had an auto email that goes out. If not, I will check the. I have an automated thing that's sent out. You should get the video, but check your spam. It might go there. I'm not sure. Have a look at Namibia. I definitely will. All right, guys, that's an hour. I don't know if you guys want me to go longer on these things, but just to avoid rambling and boring you guys and making it so that you never want to go on again, I figure I'll cut it off at an hour. I'm going to check up with Dan, because I was expecting him to pop in and tell me that he was just hungover, and now I'm starting to get concerned. Please like, subscribe, use my referral code, sign up for the contact form below. Again, you'll get I'll figure out to make sure that the auto emails are going out, but you'll get a link that'll show you how to find the cheapest salt on the planet on Earth 2 and the cheapest gold on Earth 2. And this is stuff that I was up until 4 a.m., 4:30 last night, buying and planning and shooting the videos and showing you guys the walkthrough. So check that out. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys all for watching and commenting. And, let's all help each other get better. I'm going to look through these comments, and we'll pick somebody. Oh, hit the form below. If we have your referral code, I'm going to be doing some purchasing today, and I will be using Giovanni's referral code to catch up from yesterday, and then possibly yours. So check it out. Tune in next time. And not sure when we're going to do another one. I'll have to find out if Dan's still alive. Might just be me. But stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will let you guys know. I'll send out an email blast and all that jazz. Rock on, guys. Good luck. Don't invest anything that you can't afford to lose. Happy gaming, happy playing, happy hunting.